Waking up. Every weekday morning, the Johnson family faces the same battle, getting the kids out of bed and ready for school. Mr. and Mrs. Johnson are early risers. By 6:30 a.m., they are already in the kitchen making coffee, preparing breakfast, and packing lunches. However, their two sons, Ben and Tom, are a completely different story. Ben, the older brother, is 12 years old and famous in the family for being a professional sleeper. No alarm clock seems powerful enough to wake him up. Mrs. Johnson sets one on his nightstand, one on the desk, and even one across the room so that he has to get up to turn it off. Still, Ben has mastered the art of hitting the snooze button without even opening his eyes. Tom, who is 10, is even worse. He sleeps so deeply that the family jokes he could sleep through an earthquake. Once, Mr. Johnson tried blasting music on the stereo, but Tom only rolled over, pulled the blanket over his head, and mumbled, "5 more minutes." That's 5 minutes usually turns into half an hour. The morning routine often feels like a comedy show. Mrs. Johnson knocks on the bedroom door and announces, "Rise and shine." No answer. She goes inside, pulls open the curtains, and lets the sunlight in. Ben groans like a bear waking from hibernation. Tom hides under the pillow like a turtle retreating into its shell. Sometimes, desperate times call for desperate measures. One morning, Mr. Johnson brought the family dog, Cookie, into the boys' room. Cookie jumped on the bed, licked their faces, and barked joyfully. That finally worked, at least for a few minutes. Another time, Mrs. Johnson poured a little cold water on Tom's hand. He woke up screaming, "That's so unfair," but at least he was awake. By the time both boys are finally dressed and ready, the house looks like a battlefield, clothes everywhere, half-eaten toast on the table, and backpacks thrown on the floor. Mrs. Johnson sighs with relief when the boys finally leave for school, even if it's just 5 minutes before the bell rings. Despite the chaos, the Johnsons laugh about their morning struggles. Every evening at dinner, Mr. Johnson jokes, "I wonder if tomorrow will be the day the boys wake up on time." Of course, everyone knows the answer, probably not.
My mornings are not always easy. I usually wake up at 7 a.m., but sometimes I hit the snooze button 3 or 4 times. My mom says I am worse than an alarm clock because I keep ringing in my head, saying, "5 more minutes." To wake up faster, I need music. I put on headphones and play something energetic, like rock or pop. Sometimes my cat also helps me because she jumps on my bed and meows until I give her food. That is her way of being my alarm clock. One funny story happened last year. I was so tired that I accidentally wore 2 different socks to school. My classmates laughed, and my teacher said, "At least you are creative." Since then, I try to prepare my clothes the night before. Even though mornings are hard for me, I always make it to school on time. I think waking up is a skill that I need to practice every day.